All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Afternoon Drive here on WJOP Radio 96.3. My name is Drew Moholland. We have a great show on tap for you here today. Thank you so much for starting off your Tuesday early afternoon with us. Should be a fun show. Two great guests here all ready to go. You're going to see Myles Maloof on first. He had a big day, Thanksgiving Day, the morning football game for Newburyport. Newburyport handled Amesbury pretty well there on Thursday, and Myles Maloof, leading rusher for the Newburyport Clippers football team, is in the house. And after that, I am going to be joined by Jen Stuart, the goalie for your girls soccer D3 North champions. Jen Stuart, and both of these two, let me tell you, very timely, already here. So what that means is I'm not going to take too much of your time here and do too much of an intro, because we'll get right to these two great student athletes. Once again, streaming on the television. Hello, good afternoon to you there. And thank you for listening on 96.3 WJOP Radio. Again, my name is Drew Moholland. We kind of got this thing off and rolling last Tuesday, that was. We took the Thursday off, but this is going to be an every Tuesday and every Thursday show at 3 o'clock for an hour. All sports today, and it was all sports last week. It won't always be all sports. We're just going to try to find interesting guests, and whatever the news of the day is, we're going to have those fun guests on. And that starts here in just a moment with Myles Maloof first, and then Jen Stuart second. Two great Newburyport Clippers athletes. And don't forget, folks, I should really promote the Twitter account here too. You can follow us at North Shore Live on Twitter. That's at North Shore Live on Twitter. Here, I'm going to take a picture of Myles Maloof as he's waiting in the wings. There's a nice little wave. Very good. Great head of hair on Myles Maloof too. Maybe we'll talk about that when we get back. So keep it here. We'll get you going with Myles Maloof, followed by Jen Stuart in just a moment on WJOP Radio 96.3. And welcome back to Afternoon Drive here, 96.3 WJOP Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. I am your host every Tuesday and Thursday right here at 3 o'clock. Again, hello, streaming on the television. And we're going to bring in our first guest now. His name is Myles Maloof, star running back for the Newburyport Clippers football squad. Myles, hello, and thanks for being on the show. First of all, pretty good Thanksgiving you had, huh?
Yeah, it was a great game. I mean, always roll out of bed to play Amesbury on Thanksgiving. There's no better feeling than that, to be honest.
So 27-0, little bit. Some games are closer than the score indicates, but maybe not this one.
Yeah, I mean, coaches had our game plan to run the ball and see if they could stop us, and we just followed that. And we just had our momentum going, and it was hard to get us off the tracks.
You always talk about, or we were talking beforehand about how this game always seems to get a little bit chippy. I heard this one was no different. Yeah. A little bit towards the end, maybe, especially once the score gets out of hand. What is it about Amesbury that always has that kind of chippy feel towards the end?
I really don't know. I mean, it's gone back forever, I guess. I know my coaches always talked about how like that was the game to play back in the day, and for us, it hasn't really changed. I mean, there was 3 games that I was concentrated on the season. Amesbury was definitely one of them that I wanted to win.
And so, Amesbury 27-0. I know every year they're kind of a young team, right? If I remember correctly, a few seniors. That means you're a senior yourself. Mm-hmm. What's that like taking the field for the last time as a senior, knowing this is your rival? It's the big Thursday, Thanksgiving Day game. I mean, it must be kind of a cool feeling. Yeah,
it was definitely a weird feeling knowing that that'd be the last time I'd take the football field as a Newburyport Clipper. I mean, I just wanted to go out there and put it all on the line and just hopefully get the win with the boys and have a good Thanksgiving.
And you've been on the other side of that. You lost the overtime game the year before, right? That was kind of the crazy one.
Yeah, it was close. It wasn't quite overtime, but we had a final drive with a minute or 2 left.
Okay, yeah. So, but you've been on both ends of now the winning and the losing. How much sweeter is the Thanksgiving turkey after a win?
A lot better.
What'd you do afterwards? Do you go right from the field? Do you hang out with the teammates? How does that work?
I say goodbye to all my coaches. Say goodbye to all the boys for one last time, and then took my drive around town. Just big smile on my face, and then went to my cousin's house for Thanksgiving dinner.
Tell me more about this drive around town. Is this a tradition thing, or?
Yeah, usually after every game, whether win or lose, whether I'm calming down or just hyped up, I'll always take a drive around town and
it's a personal thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
My own personal thing. It's a little bit of a superstition, I'd say.
All right, so we got like Nomar Garciaparra in the house here. Is that like before your time, Nomar Garciaparra?
A little bit, yeah.
It's unbelievable. I forget I'm getting older. He used to do the thing with the... Never mind, you don't need to know all that. So you're a superstitious guy, but you did the drive around town, hang out with the family a little bit, and feeling good after a good win.
Yeah.
What was it like? You got a fairly new football coach here. What's it like playing for the new regime, if you will?
Yeah, Coach Smolsky, he's been around on the coaching staff since I was a sophomore, so I've known the guy for a while, and great coach, really deserved the job. Really knows what it meant to be a Clipper and brought that attitude to our team, and I couldn't ask for a better guy to take me into my senior year.
It's funny, when he got hired, it seemed like, I mean, you don't usually hear high school kids speak up too much about being upset about a hire. That's just, more of a professional thing, I guess. But it did seem like there was a lot of extra support for Coach Smolsky. Don't you agree? Do you guys feel that?
Yeah, I know a lot of the coaching staff too really felt that he was the right guy for the job, and I can't say enough of him. Like, he was a great coach, really got everyone to practice, got us fired up, knew what he was doing, and was just a great football guy and a great guy to teach us how to be a Clipper.
What was did he leave the locker room more to you guys during that Thanksgiving pregame speech? Did you kind of leave it to the seniors, or did you come in and get some sort of wild, fired up pregame speech there on Thursday?
We just always sit around nice and early in the morning. We just have our talks, whether we're in the trainer's room or the locker room, and then we'd get ready, and everybody would kind of do their own thing. And then Coach would come in, sit us down. He didn't have to say much, but what he did say really woke us up and let us know that this was it and time to play.
Is that speech not meant for radio, I take it?
No, I mean, it was just basically like, this is the Clipper game to play in. I mean, there's no better game than Amesbury Thanksgiving, so yeah. And,
as a running back, you have the, back when I was going to high school, which wasn't that long ago, but when I was there, everybody had like these grass fields. A lot of times this time of year, they could be really torn up.
Yeah.
You guys have this beautiful, beautiful new turf field. I'm guessing as a running back, probably no complaints there?
No complaints. I love it. I think we got the best stadium in the Cal. I mean, I love our stadium. I love the turf. Great spot. It just feels nothing better than running that open field up there.
Yeah, I bet. And you did a lot of that all year round. Leading rusher, I was talking with Wynn Damon beforehand, who does some work on the station and calls every one of your games. And he said you were just kind of the guy that you just feed him the rock, and when he gets going, keep giving it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the story with you, leading rusher, all that stuff.
Yeah, I love running with the ball. It's been my favorite thing since I was a little kid, and I'm glad this year I got a lot of carries, and I just did what I could with it.
Were you guys more? So I didn't get to too many games. I apologize. Life stuff gets in the way. But is it one of those things where you guys are kind of a grind and pounded out team, or was there much of an air attack? How'd that all work?
Yeah, I mean, we were really put on the ground and eat up clock and take away possessions from the other team, and just we'd inch our way down the field until we'd get the big score, and then we just stop them on D and do the same thing again.
And how about when you guys got down as a team? Was it a lot of teams do try to throw their way back into football games? Was it kind of stick to the game plan and just keep giving you the ball, or what?
No, I mean we used a lot of guys, and I mean I can't credit the line enough for opening up the holes for me to get
there.
through.
You go. That's a good running back right there.
Yeah, but we had great receivers. Owen Bradbury, great quarterback. He just knew how to run the offense, and we just all did our 1/11th, as Coach said, and chipped away to win games.
Let's stop right there for a second. Did you talk to Owen Bradbury at all before coming on the show?
Yeah, I talk to him. He's in a bunch of my classes.
Well, he has a bit of a history with us from the hockey days.
Yeah.
a bit of a clown on the hockey team. I don't know how he was on the football team, but still the case.
Big leader on the football team. He was one of our team captains, and great kid. I've been playing ball with him since the 3rd grade.
So he cleans up the act for football, and a big leader. Yeah, okay.
I think hockey is when he brings out his chippy side, but I mean that's just him anyway.
Well, I think he was a good leader on the hockey team too, but definitely had some fun with us. I'm sure he's probably going to be tweeting us here any moment. He had a tendency to do that on the hockey squad, but he was a physical hockey player. It makes sense that he was playing some football. Defense too?
Yep.
Most of you guys play defense, right?
We had a lot of two-way players, yeah. Me and Brad both played outside linebackers, and both had offensive jobs too, so.
Outside linebacker. So how's that? That's going to be kind of different. I mean, anybody who knows you play running back at any level, you're kind of taking a pounding back there.
Yeah.
And then you have a long drive and get right back out there. Let's go. We got to get the ball back, right?
Yeah, I'd definitely be feeling it the next morning after taking all the hits. And on defense, I just did my part to contain and force it back into linebackers and hopefully make some tackles and plays. There you go.
At some point, how do you catch your breath out there? You got to, at some point, kind of put the hands on the knees and say, hopefully nobody throws the ball my way, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been always playing both sides of the ball since I was little, so I mean, got to do your conditioning during practice, and I get the couple blows during the kickoffs or the special teams, so I'm thankful for those. But yeah, it just gets right back in there and keep grinding away.
Thankful for halftime, maybe?
Oh, yeah, halftime's a breeze. Love it. Time to hydrate.
What was the toughest part of this football season? You got to 6-4, which is great, and that you guys were probably looking at that Thanksgiving game as a little bit of extra importance because 5-5 just is not as cool as 6-4. I think we can all agree.
Better,
yeah, so you got to that big number, which is great. What was the toughest part of this high school season, though, for you guys? Any adversity that maybe you didn't see in the newspapers?
I think the toughest part was starting out the season. It took a while for us to hit our stride, and once we hit our stride, we found out what we were doing right. But we battled the beginning games, had a rough go at it, and then figured out how to battle back and not quit and play a full 4 quarters. And I think that was really a difference maker for us.
Yeah, I bet. And 6-4, you got to feel good about that. I mean, as a senior leader, you never want to have one of those, 2-8 years. Your senior year, it kind of leaves a bad taste in yourself through those early college years.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. That was my first winning record on the football team. I mean, before my sophomore year, we went 2-7, and then the year before that 4-6. So I'm glad that we flipped it and got on the other side of the spectrum.
There you go. And how do you feel like you left the team? Like, I know every senior I talk with always talks about, even if they do have bad years. I mean, we were on the hockey team, I think it was one of the last couple of years when they didn't make the state tournament, which is very, very uncommon for Newburyport hockey. And I remember, traveling with those guys for a lot of the games. And I remember the seniors saying, it was a tough year. This is devastating, but we feel like we left the program in good hands. 6-4 record. You got to feel like you left the program in good hands, which I know is pretty rewarding.
Yeah, definitely. The younger guys that I can't wait to come back and watch them step up and run the ship and show them what they have to offer, because I know a lot of guys were battling for positions, and I can't wait to just see them step up next year. Will
you keep in touch with these guys next year no matter where you are and be there for advice, that kind of leader?
Absolutely. I'll be home on some Friday nights to come watch them play at James T. Stanley Field for sure.
There you go, and it is a nice field, like you said. Let's do this. Again, we're joined by Myles Maloof, Newburyport Clippers football. He's the running back. If you were at that game on Thursday, you saw him do some damage. You know how many yards you got?
I think I had around 120, 126. Ish.
Yeah, that's good, folks, especially on Thanksgiving. Pretty impressive. Helped Newburyport football go to 6-4 as their final record, 27-0 win over Amesbury. Let's do this. We'll take one more quick music break. That is kind of the structure of the show here. We kind of do these dip-ins to the... we're going to kind of work on the music selection. I don't know. You're loving the Beethoven, I'm hearing. Is that right? Is that what's up next? Well, we'll see what's up next. But we'll take one quick break. We'll come back with Myles Maloof, and then waiting in the wings is Jen Stuart, the goaltender for Newburyport Soccer, the D3 North champs. So good show on tap here. Still, we're already off to a great start with Myles Maloof. Keep it here. We will be right back on WJOP Radio. All right, we are back here, 96.3 WJOP Radio in Newburyport. It is Afternoon Drive with Drew Moholland. Good show here today. Again, 96.3 every Tuesday and Thursday from here on out. We got you started last week. It's going to be every Tuesday and Thursday from here on out at 3 p.m. It's an hour show. We're going to have some good guests on, and today that continues with Myles Maloof here right now across from me, and then later we're going to be joined by Jen Stuart, both two-star athletes at Newburyport. Myles, we just talked a lot about the Thanksgiving game. You just sucked up to me a little bit, which is excellent. Listening to the hockey games over the winter, I know you said you and your parents and or the parents all enjoyed that, so we appreciate that. Love calling the hockey games. What a fun arena that is. We talked about your football field, but the hockey games, those are fun to watch games in, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm a big super fan of all sports in Newburyport, and I love the hockey team too. So
you have nothing to do with that Newburyport fan section Twitter handle, do you?
I obviously can't reveal what's going on behind that, but I know a couple guys.
Do you know how many times I've asked about this and I get like the same answer? Is there like a code of silence here? This is you can't speak about this. It's like Fight Club or something.
Yeah, I mean, rule number one about Port fan section, talk about Port fan section.
Yeah, so. All right, this is getting ridiculous. 27-0 over Amesbury. Game got chippy, you said. It always does. What was your biggest memorable moment, though? Not just Amesbury. Let's eliminate that, because I'm sure Thanksgiving win to get to 6-4 was big. Favorite moment this year from the season?
My favorite moment, I think, got to be taking down Triton for the first time in my high school career. Played them freshman year, had a tough go. Sophomore year, same story, and same thing with junior year. So this year, coming out, getting the 19-13 win was my favorite moment, hands down. It's got to be. Triton,
interesting. Yeah, it seems like Triton might be the biggest real rival in the Cal, but I don't know. It seems like, depending on who you ask, I hear a lot of either Triton, Amesbury, sometimes Masco ends up in that conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Triton, the biggest rival for you football-wise?
I'd say, yeah, Triton's one of the games you always roll out of bed and wake up and just can't wait to get at them. So, yeah, Triton and Amesbury, I'd say, the two biggest ones.
And they were coming off a big year the year before, right? I mean, they had a championship run. They had a huge air attack, right?
Yeah, they had some great double threats with their running back and quarterback last year. So, I mean, them not being there was good for us, but I mean, still a great team that we played.
So what are the feelings now as the season's wrapping up? You got the banquet coming up, I heard, right?
Yep.
I know we're not hearing what's on the menu yet, but I think this is your place to make requests.
Yeah, I mean, I love a good chicken and a good steak, but yeah.
Chicken and steak at the banquet.
Chicken and steak.
I don't know if they do that, do they?
I don't know. We'll have to find out.
Shoot high. I like it. Very good. Let's talk college plans. What's you know where you're going yet? I know you said you might not have football in the future, which there's a lot of other things to do in college. But
yeah. I have no idea where I'm gonna end up, but I really liked Boston University and UMass Amherst. Two really cool schools that are beautiful, and just I thought they'd have a lot to offer. Looking to
stay in the area, though. I did the same thing.
Don't want to go too far away.
There you go. Good for you. And that allows you to get back for some Friday night football if you want to watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're also a lacrosse player in the spring.
Yep.
You play lacrosse. Tell me a little bit about the prospects of this year's Newburyport Clippers lacrosse team.
Lacrosse team, we lost a bunch of seniors last year. We got a few returning guys who are dedicated, and our coach Nick Impressia, who works really hard and grinds us away during practice. So I mean, it's gonna be a fun season. Yep, first year was last year.
How'd you like playing for him?
I liked it. Great guy. Him and Coach Eric, who was a defensive coach, both really good lacrosse coaches. Young guys, but knew their lacrosse stuff. I think both played in college, so I mean, definitely good guys to learn from.
That can't be easy as a senior athlete. I mean, you're talking junior year. You grabbed two new coaches for the two sports you played. You must have been like, really? 2 years and now we're switching it up on me?
It's been tough. I had to prove myself to a lot of different coaches in the high school career.
What would you tell we're always looking for advice on this show for the young kids, because that's always a good thing to do. What would you tell a kid in that situation? Because it is tough to have a new regime come in and have to prove yourself again, like you just said. What would you tell a kid that has to go through that?
I mean, definitely can't quit. You got to stay on top of it. Give it your all. I mean, you never know when you're actually being watched, even when the coaches aren't looking. You got to just have the right attitude, coming every day, working hard, and taking your lumps, and then you'll get the glory someday.
So you take the winter season off. Is that the deal?
I do. I need a break.
Yeah, well, I guess offense and defense. I guess you do. Winter off. What is it? Kind of like just working to get in shape now for lacrosse, or I mean, I'm sure you're in pretty good shape going through a full football season. Any injuries we're battling right now? Or?
Little dislocated finger, but I mean, it's almost healed. So I'll be hitting the weight room and getting stronger and faster for the lacrosse season.
Now, this is something we have in common. I am battling I just had it fixed, but this is a ripped tendon in the finger.
Yep.
A basketball injury. I was hoping it was dislocated. See, I got tendon injuries. I think that might be worse. I don't know. Yeah. But not fun. Did you wear the cast or a splint or anything?
It was pretty funky. It popped right out, and on the sideline, doctor popped right back in, and then I was wearing a
on the
splint.
sideline. You were one of these guys.
On the sideline, it hurt. I couldn't look at it because it was heading the opposite direction. But
let's show it to the camera. You get any?
It's a little chubby. It
is.
I won't show you it alone, but yeah.
Is it the middle finger? Mine's the middle finger too. What is that all about?
Popped right out from the knuckle and was going that way. So I mean, wasn't the prettiest thing, but I mean, made me a little bit tougher, I guess.
As I think, I really do think I have the more devastating injury, but I think yours is uglier.
Yeah, definitely not pretty. Definitely not pretty.
Well, I think we'll both survive. But what did you know? So you knew it's dislocated on the field. You remember the play? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
What happened?
It was the Weston playoff game. I came off a nice big 20, 30-yard run, and I was trying to catch myself, and the way my finger landed in the dirt or the turf, popped right out. Looked at it, couldn't believe my eyes for a second. Ran to the sideline, was like, "Coach, I don't know what's going on." He was just trying to make eye contact with me, keep me going, and I was just screaming. And then doctor came in, popped it back in, felt a pop, and was good to go. But
this is pretty disgusting. Did you know what he was going to do, or he or she, the doctor?
No, I was just kind of screaming in pain. I mean, I wasn't too bad, but I mean, I was, whatever. And he just popped it back in, and it felt great right from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That I've never had happen on the sidelines. You turn the head and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, everybody who came over saw. They were like, "What's the matter? What's the matter?" I showed them my hand, and they all looked away, and it wasn't pretty.
And then right back in the game.
We were winning 28-0 at the time, so they took me out, but I would have gone back in if they needed me to.
There you go, absolutely. All right, off a 30-yard run, you said?
I think it was 27.
All right, yeah, you gotta learn how to fall, man. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Again, we're joined by Myles Maloof, the star running back for the Newburyport Clippers, who finished the season 6-4 this year, beat Amesbury on Thanksgiving 27-0 to get to that nice 6-4 record. Myles Maloof, who we just learned has quite the pain tolerance there, and I can't stop looking at your finger. This is the problem when you're streaming on the television. There we are. This is the problem. I can get caught looking at your finger, but yeah, it's pretty gross. But we're going to get off that subject and one or two more questions before we get to Jen Stuart. Actually, before we get to Jen, why don't you tell me a little bit what you know about Jen Stuart, soccer goaltender. I know you guys get to a lot of these games. You're part of this Newburyport fan section that we can't talk about.
Can't talk about
it. But tell me a little bit about seeing these other games and a little bit about Jen Stuart, what you know.
The Bad Dogs, big Bad Dogs fan. I went to a lot of games last year and was there for a few this year. Jen's great goalie, brick wall in the net, can't be stopped. Great on penalty kicks, and all around just a fantastic goalie.
What are you doing? Play-by-play for these guys? It seems like you know quite a lot about the goaltending situation over there.
Yeah, I've been a diehard fan for 3 years now. So I mean, I've seen them play. I know what they're capable of.
Newburyport fan section. Yep. Okay. And I mean, going to these games now all winter. Is that what you do? You're taking the winter off from sports, so it's like you're just going to be jumping around from arena to arena, gym to gym, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I take the winter off and I get in the weight room and go enjoy my season off and watch my friends take over the winter.
Weight room is Coach Paul. You mean the hockey guys? He's still doing?
Yeah, great guy.
I feel like he's down there quite a bit. Keeping an eye on at least the hockey guys.
Yeah.
He didn't get you in a hockey uniform. What is it? You can't skate?
I can't skate. He was. I had a conversation about me playing hockey, and I'd love to join the team, but I can't skate well enough to get out there. But
that does seem to be a key to the ice hockey.
It is a little bit.
Ability to skate a little bit. Well, that's good. I'm sure he could use some physicality this year.
Yeah, I'd love to be a locker room guy and lay some body out there on the ice, maybe late in the third period.
Sign you up for the Triton games, maybe at least. Well, Myles Maloof, final thoughts here. Why don't you? You guys had a lot of supporters that you probably never even get to meet, but maybe listen to the games on the radio. Maybe some of those guys that just go up in the stands every Friday night and watch you guys play. Why don't I give you a moment here to take the floor and just thank the community for a great season and a 6-4 Clippers team. Nice year.
Yeah, I love the support we got at games this year. Friday nights and on Turkey Day was the best. I mean, nothing's like playing for a city that's backing you up and supporting you all season long. So I can't thank those guys enough for coming out and showing us some love this season.
There you have it. Myles Maloof, running back, Newburyport Clippers. Myles, this was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed it. The very first student guest here on Afternoon Drive on WJOP Radio. Congratulations.
It's an honor. Thanks for having me here.
It's an honor. That's fantastic work out of you. All right, Myles Maloof. We'll be right back again. We're going to be joined by Jen Stuart up next. It's a big day for Newburyport athletes here, and we got two of the best in the school right now. A couple seniors. That was Myles Maloof. Jen Stuart's up next. It's WJOP Radio Afternoon Drive on 96.3. All right, and welcome on back to Afternoon Drive, 96.3 here on WJOP Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. Great show here so far. We just had Myles Maloof on of Newburyport Clippers football, and now we are joined by another star athlete over at Newburyport. Her name is Jen Stuart. Many of you know her as the goaltender for the Newburyport girls soccer squad, the D3 North champs, and described by Myles Maloof as a brick wall. Welcome to the show, Jen.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Welcome aboard. A brick wall from that seems to be pretty high praise to start off the show here. Not too shabby.
Thank you. I think it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's a common stereotype for most goaltenders.
Well, I think Myles, it doesn't seem like he just throws around these fun facts, so I think he's very complimentary. But quite a year you girls had. You made a great run. Talk about that. I mean, D3 North champs, it seems like you girls are always good, though. I mean, it pretty much, does it get old or what?
I think a nice winning season's always nice. I think a lot of it has to do with our coaches, Rob and Kevin Sheridan. I think they do a lot for our team, and they prepare us well come preseason. Right from that start in August, we always talk about going late in November. So.
Yep. Coach Sheridan is no stranger to long postseason runs. What's it like playing for him? He's Coach Kevin Sheridan, is that right? Am I remembering that?
Yeah, Kevin Sheridan and Bob Ghanem.
That's right. The old dual coaching thing, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Co-head coaches.
Is that like good cop, bad cop? How does that all work out?
In a way, I guess.
I don't want to get you in trouble now.
No, I think they know it too. But Bob always the way Rob always puts it is he lays it in like pretty like black and white. He tells us when we're doing great and when we suck.
Yep.
So, and then I say like then Cher comes in and he kind of lays it in, makes us feel better about ourselves. And I mean he puts the same amount of pressure on us as any other coach would. He still expects the same amount as any other coach would. I'd say it's pretty evenly split. You know,
my fun fact, I never played soccer in high school, but my younger sister was the starting goaltender for Danvers. So she played, I think, 3 years. I think,
and Danvers just won their state title
this year, too. They're always very good. They just won at, I know they beat Winchester to get to the final. I can't remember who they beat in the final, but we're a little bit older. But I remember going through high school and watching her play, and people have kind of the wrong idea sometimes about soccer. You get really banged up out there, don't you? Diving all around, collisions, concussions.
I've never had a concussion, thank God, but I've taken a few shots off the face before. A
few shots off the face. Sometimes you have to stop the ball with anything, right?
Yeah, I took the worst one I've gotten off the face was last year during our Masco game. It was our Cal championship game, actually, and I went out and got one right off the side of my face here, and my eye swelled up. I had a black eye for a few weeks.
How do you get hit on that side? It seems like your head should be turned around. How does it happen? A fluke? You don't need to relive it. It's okay, actually. Bad question.
I was going out she was coming down the sideline, and I was going out to meet her because her touch was just like a little too far. Okay. And then I was going out to dive for it on the side, and that was the second she shot it, and it just went off the side of my, I was coming down and just went right off the side as I was coming down.
No, sorry to laugh, but...
watching it on video is pretty comical.
There you go. It's kind of funny watching you describe the ball hitting in your face from right here. It's funny. I was watching a Premier League game recently, and I noticed, and I don't know, maybe high school kids are starting to do this themselves, but I noticed one of the goaltenders for one of the big Premier League teams was wearing a helmet sort of thing. Is anybody doing that? Or
I've never seen that before, but I know a lot of people do wear concussion bands, so they go around your head here, and it's,
that's what it was actually.
Yeah, a lot a lot of people do it. So you're supposed to, like, when you head the ball, you're supposed to hit it off the band part, so that way it doesn't.
Mostly a goalie thing, or do you have actual players doing that?
I've never seen like a goalie wear. I say it's more of a player thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Because they say like besides football, soccer is the next big
girls soccer
sport.
is the second. It's like girls soccer is the second sport for concussions.
You know
right
this,
after
do you?
football. Yeah.
What else do you have for stats on you?
I don't know. We discussed it at a practice one time because we had like one season when we had like 3 people out with concussions. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's nothing to joke about. And I mean, they don't joke around with concussions anymore. As soon as any sign of that, you're getting pulled off that field and taken off for a good amount of time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I know like with my my center back, she always goes up for many headers, and she had a pretty bad concussion last winter from basketball. And I always ask her like are you good? Like is your head okay? And she's always like, yeah. Like me, I always tell her like if you're feeling anything, like let me know.
Yeah, well, that's definitely good. Let's shift gears away from the health aspect there for a little bit. Goaltenders in soccer, very much like almost like the quarterback. I know sometimes you watch some of these pros on TV, and it seems like the goaltender's angry at everybody on the field, screaming at people to mark their person or whatever. You really do have to be a loud, vocal. There's a lot more to it though than just kind of saving the ball, right? There's a lot to being a goaltender at these high levels.
Yeah, it's very similarly compared to like a quarterback position because
isn't that what I said?
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah,
that's excellent point by me.
And because you're that last person back, so you have eyes that not anyone else like can see. Like you have a different view of the field and everything, and like you can see essentially everything. Yeah, and so telling everyone where to be because I don't know how to put it, but.
I mean, you start breakouts, you make a save, you're almost looking on the counterattack, right? You can be the first pass to spring an offensive goal, that sort of thing.
Because you can see behind people and like what they don't have eyes in the back of their head, even if they wish they did. Yeah,
well, yes. Fine point made there.
Yeah.
This is Jen Stuart, by the way, folks. She's on 96.3 Joppa Radio's Afternoon Drive. I am your host, Drew Moholland here. All Newburyport today as we kind of wrap up some of the fall sports. We talked with Myles Maloof of Newburyport football after their big win over Amesbury on Thursday. Talking with Jen Stuart after their great run, D3 North champions. Jen, you are a senior, correct?
Yes.
Any college plans yet, or
we're not sure.
There you go. That's okay.
Yeah, we're still looking.
What's looking close? I know Myles had said he's looking around here.
Yeah, definitely in the area.
All right, so none of you
close to home. Yeah.
See, everybody loves the area after growing up here. Yeah. It's sometimes tough to get away.
I like having that 4-season aspect.
4 seasons, yes, that's a fine point. Fall especially, very beautiful. I like fall a lot here.
Yeah,
not ready for wintertime.
No, fall's very pretty. I like skiing though, so the winter's nice.
Yeah, skiing's a different breed. See, I like skiing too, but I'm more like go down a few times and then like
head back
lodge kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's like a good acoustic guitar player or something. Hot chocolate, I'm golden.
Oh, yes.
All right, tell me more about the skiing, though. You a reckless skier?
Is
it skiing or snowboarding? What's more popular?
Both.
Yeah, see, I knew you were on this. Okay, what do you like better?
For, like, the tactical aspect, like going on more, like, the Black Diamond trails, I'll do, like, snowboarding just because I feel like I have more control over myself. But
the Black Diamond, those are the ones that,
speed-wise, though, I'll take skiing over that.
And just the Black Diamond is like, this is a cliff that you're about to fall off. Be careful.
Yeah, no, that's not me. I would not do that.
That's not, okay.
Well, I'll say, like...
Black Diamond is hard, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, like, I'm thinking more, like, Glade kind of Black Diamond.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But not, like, the... steep stuff.
How many times are we maybe this is so you don't do a winter sport then. Skiing is your winter sport and snowboarding.
Well, I used to play basketball. And then that ended, but then I actually did the ski racing team last year, which was very fun.
They have that is that a Newburyport thing?
It's a co-op team with Georgetown and Triton.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Where do you go?
Bradford. So it's like not really ski racing, but like it's the best you can get for the area.
Yeah, I think that's where we used to have ski club. There are a lot of ski clubs locally that go to Bradford, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So I remember that mountain. It's a small little mountain, but fun.
Mm-hmm.
What so you get to do that? Is that your winter hobby, would you say? What else you got?
Probably that, and just like I do club soccer and club lacrosse as well throughout the winter.
So soccer's an all year round thing.
Yeah,
do you ever get out and are you strictly a goaltender these days? Have you specialized in that, or do you ever try? You want to go score every once in a while?
I mean, during practice, it's always fun to get out in the field and just get the touches in on the feet.
Yep.
I mean, during our first Triton game, I made my striking debut.
Striking debut.
Yeah.
Striking, of course, the forward for those of you who don't know.
I convinced my coach after a lot of pleads to get me out on the turf and hopefully get a goal off. But which brings me to an interesting point here. So Myles talked about how much he loves the turf for football. A lot of extra, speed, kind of more dependable, I guess. Soccer players don't always love the turf, right? I mean, it's a faster game, but when you're talking about slide tackles and stuff, it gets a little rough on the knees. Am I right? I know growing up, I always said how much I hated the turf.
Yeah.
But like now that it's more common, I hate grass more.
Do you play mostly on turf fields? Are they that common?
Yeah, turf fields are very common for soccer and even lacrosse as well. Just playing on like the grass, it's just more difficult because it's more bumpy and it's harder to predict like where like the pass will end up if you're gonna hit a bump or anything.
What about is it actually like a faster game on turf? You always hear that just maybe the bigger bounces. I don't know. Is it actually faster?
Usually, yeah, the ball moves pretty fast, but I've played on some nice grass fields that simulate pretty much turf.
Yeah.
So that if you have like a nice grass field, I'd say it's pretty similar to turf. But if you have like what we play in at the high school level, the choppy, bumpy grass fields, it's definitely a lot slower.
What is the not necessarily field quality because that will be just kind of mean, but what is the like kind of toughest on the road venue to play at in the Cape Ann League? Like, is there a place that's just every time we go there, it's a battle, it's tough, the crowd's always tough? Like, is there one place that jumps out in your mind?
Field-wise?
Yeah, just put it all together. I don't want to attack a school's field,
okay.
but put that in the equation, yes.
I don't know. I'd say Triton's usually a big battle because they're close, so they always get a big section no matter where you end up playing, whether you're home or away. They get a crowd, especially night games, they get a lot there.
Yeah.
And then night games at Masco, they usually get a crowd. It's kind of like more different during soccer because if you have like a 3:45 game during the day, you're not going to have as large of a crowd, so it's not much in effect. But
Masco always comes up too. Is like this? Is it because Masco seems to be good at a lot of these sports that they tend to be a big rival?
Yeah, I know we always mark Masco on our calendars as a big game because we've been going back and forth with them in the winning column for years now.
Yeah, and you've held your own quite well. So maybe you haven't done you had the stats on concussions for me. Do you know what your final record was as a? Our
final record was 16-3-3 this year.
Okay, but as a soccer player at Newburyport, have you added these all up yet?
I have not. I have no idea what it would be.
Okay. See, I think you're going to want to do that. I think that might be fun. I think it's going to be pretty impressive. 16-3-3, you said.
Yeah, that was our record for this year.
How do they do the draws at the high school level again? The regular season games don't go to penalty kicks or anything?
Regular season games just end in a tie. So that goes in your record as a tie, and then
soccer players. How do you feel about penalty kicks as a goalkeeper? I know it's a loaded question for a goalie. Are you more of a let ties be ties person or what? Ooh, see, good question.
Yeah, I don't like ties. I definitely don't like them, but I don't think penalty kicks is the way to decide a game either.
So you'd rather play for days?
No, I wouldn't do that. I'd say.
Yeah, perfect world.
I think
what is it?
A perfect world, I'd say
you win 5-0?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect world, you blow out a team.
Well, it is funny though. You always hear people say that. Like we talked about the Danvers, how they won the other day. They won in penalty kicks, and I always think that's going to be a really, really tough way to end in your state championship final, losing in penalty kicks.
I say it's just kind of like the way of how it's always been. So it's kind of it's going to be there, but
yeah.
You
have 90 minutes to take care of business before that, right?
Yeah, but then when you discuss it after, you're always like, I just wish that wasn't how it ended. Because, the team that could have, obviously been, the worst team could just have stellar penalty kickers. And, there's not much you can do about that.
And are you literally, I guess there is an aspect of guessing, right, on penalty kicks as the goaltender?
Actually,
Oh, I like this.
I actually have, throughout the game, if it's, a good team, I kind of, I don't want to say scout, but I kind of watch their striking players and the players that seem oh, like they seem like they'll take a penalty kick. They're good. Like, and I kind of like watch like how they play the ball, and if they're like more like when they take their like free kicks, if they're more curling it or if they're more just kind of sending it straight away.
This is next level stuff. Very interesting.
Yeah, that's how I kind of, and then like that's kind of how I pick which way I go, and then also like when they come up to the line, like I watch like their body language and see like where their eyes go on the net. So, like, a lot of people, they'll put the ball down, and then they'll look up, and they'll kind of focus more on, like, whichever side they're going to kick to. So then I kind of leeway more to that way.
Interesting. All right. And you must play. And I mean, you think about fall in New England, Newburyport, Cape Ann League, all these places. Kind of, early on in the season, 70-degree night maybe, might be beautiful. End of the season, might be snowing. Kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, I know. I think it was... I've played I don't think it was with my high school team, but I've played in a game where it was snowing. And it was something different.
Yeah, unique to say the least.
Yeah.
Visibility issues or not that kind of snow?
Not really, just more feeling in my fingers and my toes.
Yes, no heated gloves there? Don't you have the skiing? You're a skier. You got to have the...
I do wear, like, the little, like... I don't know. They're like the little kid gloves.
Oh, okay.
Like the cotton ones. I wear those under my gloves.
Big soccer gloves.
Yeah, when it gets cold.
Because the big soccer gloves, those are serious, powerful things.
Yeah, but they do not keep you warm.
They don't keep you warm.
Yeah,
Okay.
and especially because I put water on them before to make them a little more sticky.
Oh.
So everyone's like, "Oh, but you have gloves on." I'm like, "Yeah, but my gloves are covered in ice cold water right now."
Wow.
So it doesn't really.
Well, that's
help with the
interesting.
situation.
So the water does what again? Throw this by me.
I'm
I've
not
never heard
sure
that.
the science behind it. I just know that when I get them, the box says add warm water to make them more sticky.
Following directions.
Yes.
Very good.
It doesn't. Yeah, it just gives you a better grip on the ball.
Sticky. So
Not like sticky, but like a better grip on the ball.
So it's like a.
It's less slippery. When
like
you grab it.
almost like a pine tar sort of thing.
Kind of, yeah.
But yeah. What about when you're punching a ball? When do you make the decision to punch, catch? How does that work?
Kind of instantaneous when the ball gets to me.
Okay.
It's like if there's a lot of people, you go for the punch because like I can't really grab it.
Yeah.
But if I have the space, then I'll just secure it in.
Okay. And then do you sometimes just go out there and punch the ball out of frustration?
No.
You've never done that before?
I haven't.
You sure? You lying to me?
I'm not.
Okay. Jen Stuart is our guest here. She's the goaltender for Newburyport Girls Soccer, the D3 North champs. We have a couple minutes left, so let's do this. We'll take one final music break. We'll finish up strong here with Jen, and we will bring this show home here in just a moment on 96.3 WJOP Radio. My name is Drew Moholland, and this is Afternoon Drive. All right, welcome back to WJOP Radio here. Jen Stuart is our guest on Afternoon Drive. My name is Drew Moholland. Again, we're going to be doing this every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. for 1 hour. Not any real structure to the show, which I very much like. And Jen, I got you on the camera. See, I got to get better at the camera thing. There we go. Hello there to everybody at home as we're streaming on the television as well. But yes, Jen Stuart, as you just saw there, is our guest. D3 North champs. She is the goaltender for Newburyport Girls Soccer. I asked you this when you came in here before the show off the air. Do you have a fun story, like best story of the year? One that's radio appropriate, please. But one story that's you're like never going to forget for years to come?
I was thinking when we played North Reading at their home turf, and we finally beat them, and I think it was 2-1.
They're really good, right?
They are good,
Yeah.
and it was nice because we've actually never beat them on their home turf before.
Wow.
So finally being able to do that was really nice.
That must have been pretty sweet.
Yeah, we were all pretty excited, us seniors.
How'd it go? Did you get a 1-0 lead and give it up, or?
I think we were up 2-0.
2-0.
And
then you gave one back.
Yeah, at the end. It was
just to make things interesting.
Yeah, at the end of the game, yeah.
Just to make things interesting.
Yeah. We needed that nail biter.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to win in dramatic fashion.
Mm-hmm.
We talked with. I asked Myles before about the favorite rivalry. I did the same thing for you. Well, actually, you said it was the toughest place, Masco, to play at. Was it Masco?
Yeah.
Is that the biggest rival for the soccer team too? Or
I'd say Masco or North Reading are pretty high up there.
Those
They're
two.
always great competition, always tough teams, great coaching.
What's up with the Cape Ann League? There's like powerhouse girls soccer teams. It's pretty impressive.
I don't know. I'd give it for the coaches, and they do a great job coming
That's
in.
a good answer right there.
Yeah.
Very, very smart. Senior year, what's it like? Were you like the vocal leader? You're a goaltender, so you kind of have to be naturally vocal anyway, but were you like the locker room speech person too, or did you have, was there somebody who kind of took that mantle?
We kind of, like, us seniors, we kind of took it in our own hands. There were 10 of us in that locker room. We knew what we wanted. We wanted to go far in the tournament, hopeful state title. We just kind of gave it all to the underclassmen and juniors and told them what we expected and kind of just laid it all out there.
I know you'll be keeping an eye on the underclassmen next year as they step up. How's the team going to be in the years to come?
I think they got some great people coming in. Even coming tryouts, the people that didn't make the varsity team are still high potential, and coming in next year, I think they're going to be strong. And
what's the advice for the young girl, middle school right now who wants to be on the varsity soccer team? Is it what's like the workout advice, or what drills should they be doing? What's the best piece of advice you could give them?
I'd say, I don't know, just.
It's a tough question.
It is tough.
I mean, because I see you at the soccer team's pretty crazy as far as, like, you know, what do you have to do, like a mile in a certain amount of time or something to train?
We only do one running event all season.
Even the double sessions too at the beginning?
We do one running thing first day of double sessions, 8 o'clock right in the morning. And that's all we do all season.
What is this? What are the details of this running session?
What we do is we start off, we do 4 laps around the field, which is probably a little bit under a mile. Right? A little bit under a mile. Yeah. And you have to complete that in 6 minutes. And then
6-minute mile. Okay. So that's a good start. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So to be on the soccer team, you got to be kind of around that.
Yeah. Well, then you do 2 laps in 3 minutes and then 1 lap in a minute and a half. But the thing is, if you get over 6 minutes the first in the 4 laps, then you can make it up in the next laps to come.
Oh.
So, like, say you get, like, 6:10 in the 4, but then you can get, like, a lower number in the next laps.
I wonder, do you think there's anybody, I don't know, maybe the running back on the football team that could do that, or?
Yeah. Definitely. It's not that difficult of a test.
See, I know Myles is still listening in right now, which is why I asked that. Yes,
maybe Myles might struggle, but we don't know.
Oh, there we go. See, he gave you the whole brick wall compliment, and now it's...
No, he definitely would be. He'd blow by all of us.
I do hear he's very fast. Do you get to a lot of the football games? I know that tends to be a popular one.
Yeah, I definitely do. Friday nights, under the lights.
Fun team to watch this year, those Clippers?
Very fun, yeah. Getting that student section, the infamous Port fan section.
Are you the person behind the Twitter account? I will find this person.
I can't say.
This is unbelievable. Well, okay, we're gonna get off that. This is it. I'm gonna go back to me on the television, and so for those of you streaming at home, and I know this doesn't really work on the radio thing, but it is what is it here? The Port. It's NBPT fans is the Twitter account. Yes, they're all over the place. I don't know if there's a salary that somebody's taking for being on Twitter and being at all these games, but they're very good fans. It seems. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unless it's some random guy.
Fans are definitely dedicated.
Yes, that is good, and you must feel that every game. The dedication from the community at these games. Never mind when you're going to championship games, right? What's that like? Championship game, everybody travels to see you. Pretty cool.
I think getting to the Manning Field and Len. And then you have students coming, you have parents coming, you have the youth programs coming out, friends. It's just great seeing those stands packed and everyone's there.
I asked Myles too, and he said I think his word was weird, cool to win, but it was weird kind of knowing it was your last game. Soccer's a little bit different because you're going to keep playing until you don't anymore. You know, the football guys, a lot of times they know Thanksgiving is it. But those final stretch runs, you're going up against a tough playoff team. What's it like knowing that could be it as you might lace them up for that last time? Kind of a weird feeling there, too, as a soccer player?
I think it was definitely a weird feeling because we just never wanted it to end.
Yeah.
We were just like, we're going to win today, we're going to go play tomorrow, and then knowing that there was no tomorrow was... very different.
I think the Patriots coach Bill Belichick always says it's like a crash landing almost. It's the season's going, and then it's just over.
It definitely felt like a crash landing, yeah.
Yeah, it's a crazy way to explain it, but I can certainly understand it. But an unbelievable season, D3 North champs. Fun team this year. Did you enjoy every bit of it?
Oh, yeah, definitely a fun team. There were 27 of us on that team. It was
27?
Yeah, we had a large
team.
How
many play? 11?
11, yeah. So we got a lot of people.
So there's more people on the bench then.
Yeah, there is, but a lot of them, we got many games where all 27 people went in, and throughout the season, like, everyone played, everyone did their part, and if we had 26 versus 27, it definitely would not have been the same team.
No, that's cool. So everybody can say they got a piece of it, though, all 27.
Yes.
That's really good. Good job by the coaches, I think.
Yeah, everyone holds their own part.
And pasta parties, is that what you kids are still doing these days? That never really changes. It's pasta parties on, like, the night before the games.
Pasta parties night, we actually do it one before every single game.
One before every game.
Every game. So
with 27 kids, that takes the burden off the parents a little bit, right?
Well, yeah. Well, come tournament time, though, we're a very superstitious team. So come tournament time, it's the same house.
Oh.
But then
who pulled the short straw here?
This year it was at Maria Hogan's house, but it's good because all the parents chip in.
Is Maria the player or the
player?
Okay.
And her mom.
What's her name? She deserves a name drop for all that.
Elena Hogan. She did a lot.
Elena Hogan. Well, here, give a wave to the camera and say thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Definitely.
And probably good pasta. You wouldn't keep going. I mean, I know it's superstition, but you wouldn't keep going if it was just terrible food. So
well, all the parents chip in and they all give in their different pasta dishes and desserts and all of that.
So it's a group effort. Like
the parents put a lot into what we do behind the scenes.
You do owe a lot to the parents. It's very
Definitely,
good.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, that sounds like a very fun year you had. I mean, I know you'd want to play till you couldn't play anymore. You almost went the whole way. I mean, D3 North Champs is great. Pretty much a great way to draw up a senior year, though, if I had to guess, right?
Yeah, it was pretty nice. I mean, back-to-back D3 North Champions was great.
A lot of fun. And so wintertime, when's the first ski trip? Is it already happened? They're making snow, right?
It hasn't yet, but soon to come.
Soon to come?
Yeah.
Snowboard or skis to start?
I don't know. We haven't decided.
Is there anything else?
Nothing I know
Snowboard,
of.
skis, there's like I guess there's not really any other. Okay, so you got two options.
Yeah.
You got to pick one. Pick one now. Go.
Probably skis.
Okay.
To start the season.
We'll go with skis.
Yeah.
That seems good. Making snow at a lot of these places already.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. Like it was like 50 one day last week. 60.
Yes, very warm.
Yeah.
I think it was last Saturday.
You ever ski in shorts?
Actually, I've skied in a t-shirt before, but not shorts. We went spring skiing probably about 4 years ago out in California.
Well, there you go.
That was really nice.
Well, you and Myles, both when the winter's off, enjoy your hobbies. It was great having both of you guys on. For the TV, Myles, why don't you pop your head right back in here and just you can give a wave. Go ahead, Myles. Say thanks to all the football community supporters, too, there. If you want to jump back in. Use the microphone here.
Love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
All right, there you go. Great work, you guys. Well, two great guests. Jen Stuart, the goaltender for Newburyport Girls Soccer, D3 North Champs. Outstanding to talk with you. And Myles Maloof, running back, leading rusher for the Newburyport Clippers. Big win over Amesbury on Thanksgiving to get to 6-4. They both leave their programs in fantastic shape for next year. And that is going to do it here, folks. Again, thank you to both of these great student athletes. Thank you to all of you not only listening but watching on the television. And we'll be back here next Thursday. This coming Thursday. See, 2 shows this week, Tuesday and Thursday, like we'll do for the rest of the time being. 3 p.m. for 1 hour. It's Afternoon Drive with Drew Moholland. It's right here on WJOP Radio. Thank you.